Alright, so today we have the Wimaxit portable monitor. I've had several portable monitors. I've had the ASUS ZenScreen, which I have a video on. I had the lapel, which I broke, and then I have the ASUS, I don't know how you pronounce it, ASUS. This one is smaller than those. This one's 13-inch. All those are 15-inch ones. But it is a nicer box. Now, the ASUS is pretty nice, but this one, and a lot of the YouTubers use this one, so I'm hoping it's maybe a little more legit. They did send this to me for free. I like that. More people should send me free stuff. I like free stuff. Although I was interested in this one. I'd requested it before, and I think I was rejected, or either it's kind of blown off. And then they did give it to me. My son jokes that I'm going to become a portable monitor YouTube channel. But I do find these things very useful. So I'm not complaining about getting these. Alright, a nice little cushion got here. Here is the device itself. In the box, we have a instruction manual, which is... You don't always see that. Oh, that's nice. It tells you how to do Samsung DeX. It tells you how to do a full-featured laptop interface. It tells you how to do Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox. I like that. It is a mini HDMI. I prefer a full-size HDMI, but beggars can't be choosers. This little booklet saying thank you. Now, interesting enough, they do seem like different cords than the previous ones. Like both the lapel and the ASUS came with cords that looked exactly the same, and these look like different cords. HDMI to HDMI mini, a little C to C action, and a USB-A to C, and it's the blue one. I don't know if it's really 3.1, but it looks like it. Here's some specs. It says it's 1080p, 60 Hz, 300 nits. Which is pretty bright, so maybe it's brighter. It is a mini HDMI, which I don't like. It does have some speakers, so let's just take a look and see. Oh, a very different back. Oh, I see. Oh, so we got the whole, there's the device itself. Oh, and this back does not come off. That's like glued on there permanently. Maybe. How's it sting? Oh, I see, like that. Oh, that makes sense. That's not bad, actually. It does have the Wimaxit logo. That's what we got on this side. We have an input button, menu button, plus and minus button, power button, and a micro USB. Two HDMI ports for some reason, a USB-C regular port and USB-C power port, and a headphone jack over here. So that's nice. On the bottom, there are these rubberized feet things, so that should help it stand up better. And again, this does not come off. And then there's this little plastic on the front, and it says HDR monitor here. So there's the screen itself, and this little plastic protector on it. It's funny that I decided to unbox this today. One, because as I mentioned, I have the ZenScreen and I have the ASUS. My wife has been using my ZenScreen because it is USB-C only. She's a teacher and she uses it with her Chromebook. And tomorrow she's going to the actual school and she wanted to take the second screen. And I said, sure. And I cannot find this little case that goes on it. This guy, no problem, still attached. Just for comparison, here is the ASUS, so you can see how much bigger it is. Its case does come off. And it does have some nice stuff here. And it does look kind of cool. It also has little rubber feet. And it has the name on the front and these letters. But I don't like this little setup. Like, it has a little power button and this little button wheel to do like settings and all that stuff, but it's kind of like one wheel combined. It doesn't work very well. And their headphone jack has a lot of static. I contacted them and told them, and they said, okay, we'll look into it, and then I never heard back. This also has a mini HDMI port and the power and USB-C. Of course, its case comes off, and the problem is with that design, for one, their case is a little weird. I like how it looks, but it's not as good for standing. The case for the ZenScreen was the best standard, but I can't find that case anywhere. And I never know how to put this back in the box. See? Maybe this way. Yeah. So let me get this plugged into something and we'll take a look. So literally, this is the ASUS ZenScreen. It stood up with this, put your pin in here, and that was a terrible design. And it only has a USB-C port. Nothing else, just one USB-C, and that's it. That's the only button on the, well, there's a button on the front here, but that's just for settings. This has been a good monitor. It's lasted a long time. So that this is my yoga I'm gonna connect it to. That ZenScreen has lasted a very long time, but like I said, and I prefer it to the ASUS, except for the ASUS takes HDMI, which this guy does too. The simplicity of the just USB-C only is nice, but then you lose out on stuff. Like you can't do Samsung DeX with it, you can't do Nintendo Switch with it, or any of these other items, right? So it infuriates me that I've lost that lid to that ZenScreen. That's why Wimaxit I will never lose because it's attached. And it does seem to, like, so there we go. You can see, so I can see the screen set up here. Pretty easy. You can see here's the Wimaxit. Here is my Lenovo. And you can see it extends the screen just fine. And here is on the side we have that you hit the menu button. And you can see brightness, contrast, black level, eco. But this is the brightness cranked all the way up. And this is a 4K Lenovo, but I mean, it looks pretty good. I'm using the USB-C that came in the box from the Wimaxit to my Lenovo, and then that I have this bottom one is power from the wall plugged in. And then if you want to unplug that, the Wimaxit still has power plugged in, and this is my Samsung Galaxy Note 20. Plug that in. Here it will say HDMI connected. And boom, now we have Samsung DeX. So let me see if we have menu. Maybe retain the 100 brightness. So there you go. So you can see I could just use Samsung DeX on it. That's pretty good. I don't mind that. And you know, you can use your phone as a mouse, or you can set up a separate keyboard and a mouse with it. It's pretty good. Let me turn this light off so you can get an idea. So it's pretty bright. I don't mind it here. I could use it. Is smaller than my other one. It's not a touchscreen, right? If you click on it, it doesn't do anything. But it's a nice little setup. All right, and then let me try a different thing here. So I didn't even realize it. I accidentally knocked out my power cord while I was switching this little guy here, and DeX is still running off a single cord. Even though the instructions say you need power, it clearly is working without that, so that's pretty good. As I didn't do it on purpose, this little box knocked off the power cord here. It did get the brightness lower, I believe. Yeah, it cranked the brightness down. I think if you try to adjust the brightness without the power, no, you can still do max brightness with it just the cord in. So that's nice. I like that. I was gonna say that I use this when I'm home. I do use this little book stand here as a holder for the portable monitors. So let's do a little head-to-head. We'll try the ASUS. We'll do the same one cord and see if it can handle it. Now it does say HDMI connected here, but and it does work. So yeah, ASUS also seems to work. But when you crank up the brightness, it starts to die like that. So the ASUS, when I crank up the brightness, it'll kill it. Yeah, it just dies once you get the brightness up too high with just the cord. I mean, I can plug the power cord in, it would work. All right, now I have the power cord in ASUS so we can have a fair test. It's a 99 brightness, so all right, so that works. This one's also not touchscreen, so it's just larger. So I'm looking at it right now, and let me switch back to the Wimaxit and see if I notice quality difference. All right, so I feel like I'm looking at this icon right here, the YouTube Studio, and it's not going to show on camera probably, but with my eye, I do feel like it is crisper on the Wimaxit. I'm going to try one more time just for, yes. So this is the ASUS, which I've been happy with, But I will say, I do feel like the image is crisper on the Wimaxit. They both should be 1080p, but I do feel like the Wimaxit has a better picture. I'm just looking directly at this little YouTube studio guy here. Alright, so now this is a Lenovo, and I do feel, I've always felt like the ASUS looks a little dull when I use it as a second screen. Honestly, I prefer, when I'm just using it just as a monitor extension, I do tend to use the ZenScreen more because the picture, I think, is better. The ZenScreen is a much more expensive device, but I do tend to use it more. Alright, now let's try a little YouTube action. So this is the ASUS, that's just a YouTube video from, I'm just mirroring my screen from my yoga, and is at a 1080p video. And let's try some volume here. So with the ASUS, you have to do this weird messing with the settings to get to the volume, and it's really annoying. I hate that. I'm not even going more through it. So that's the speakers coming from here. Alright, so here we are on the Xbox. I set my son's up account, so it has to request access. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good, really. So, yeah, I mean, the picture, I think, looks really good. Earlier, when I was using Samsung DeX in my brain, I was like, that looks, I'm gonna have a problem with that screen being smaller. But right now, when I'm using it, it looks perfectly fine. Like, I wouldn't notice it being smaller. Like, when I went back to back between the ASUS and the Wimaxit with Samsung DeX, it was kind of poking out to my brain that it was smaller, but when I'm doing it now, that doesn't seem to be a problem. Quite frankly, I think the picture is better and the audio quality is better. Let's do a more important test for me. You also have to take my word for this one, I guess. I'm going to test this headphone jack. Alright, and I have these headphones plugged in. I'm going to take a listen. Alright, crystal clear. I'm gonna try to hold it up here. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm holding these headphones up to my HyperX microphone here that's recording, and hopefully that catches it. It clears the bell from this headphone jack. Cord. It's in the link in the description. 5x12. Speakers actually are pretty good on this thing. I mean, it's tinny, of course, because it's just a little speakers, but as far as like listening, just straight up like talking, like me talking here in this video, it's perfectly acceptable. I don't have any problems with that. Alright, I'm going to stop this for now. I'm going to use this tomorrow for my regular job, and we'll leave some more feedback on it, and then we'll try some Samsung DeX.